Good morning, everyone. Where's my mouse? Oh, there it is. Can you see me and hear me? I got a new computer and it just notified me that I'm live. Now I know. Okay. Thank you, Lorna. Thank you, Jamie. Let me go back up. Excuse me. My allergies are kicking today, so you'll have to bear with me. I'm gonna be a little sneezy and coffee. Can't get it to stop. I have to shut my window. Okay. All right, let's get started. Somebody let me know when it's what time is it right now? 10:30. Somebody let me know when it's 11:30-ish. And we'll do a reading giveaway. There's a couple spots left for the month. I only opened a few, not a lot. There's a couple spots left. But somebody remind me halfway, 11:30, and we'll do a 10-minute reading free giveaway. What else? There was stuff I wanted to say. Oh, so I'm doing this a little differently. I'm going to make an update video, but for the Humans for Humanity, instead of doing different chapters, I'm taking the video and I'm condensing it into just like the important parts, like no like pauses or just the stuff that you really need to hear. So that will be coming out later today with Taylor's episode. So everyone please check that out. Okay, let me go to the top and start now. Shandy asked if the 10-minute mini readings can be mediumship. Yes, they can. The more questions you ask, the more direct answers I can give you with that. Okay. All right, let's go. Here we go. Where am I? Why is it not coming up? Is it optimal for me to move to Little Rock, Arkansas within the next 2 years? Is it optimal? Yes, but I would say not in the next year. Like I feel like 1 to 2 would be the minimum. It feels like there's still things that need to be wrapped up and gotten into place so that you don't have maybe not like buyer's remorse, but there's still planning needed for it to go that way and go well. Message from Sean. Why are these being so slow? Message from Sean. If you follow the signs, you'll notice things are aligning in ways you hadn't expected. There's a decision that you need to make. Am I laggy? There's a decision that you need to make, and it's going to require you to more so follow your heart than your logic. Hold on one second. Am I laggy? Let me fix my internet. What's happening? I have full internet. Oh, I'm on the wrong internet. Okay, sorry. Can you see me and hear me now? And am I not lagging now? Thank you, Lorna. I got new internet so that it would stop lagging. And I was connected to the old internet, so it was lagging. Okay. Anyway, there's a choice, Lorna, that you need to make here, and it's going to require you to kind of follow your heart over your logic. That doesn't mean to throw logic out the window, but it means that don't overthink what your heart is telling you to do. Okay, let me get back up to where I was. I knew there was going to be things happening today. Okay. Message from my parents. Message from my parents. It would help if my extra camera was connected, right? Extra camera. All right, there we go. Kind of. Is it still not working? You've already survived things that could have broken you but didn't. Why is this going back to being laggy? Okay, we'll deal with that in a second. You've already survived things that could have broken you but didn't. We have Ace of Pentacles in reverse, Six of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, am I back and not lagging? I don't know what is happening. Am I back and not lagging? That's not even connecting. I don't know what to do. My internet says it's fully connected. Okay, can you see me and hear me now? I don't know what is happening. See if I can get this up. Okay, can you see me and hear me? Okay, thank you, Linda. Thank you, Jamie. I'm so sorry. I don't know what is happening. Let me get back up. And now my extra screen isn't working. Okay, today's one of those days. Let's go back to the, oh, there we go. All right, give me 1 second to get this up. Okay. Let me back to this screen. So I'm not lagging or I am lagging? It looks like I'm lagging. Can someone tell me? Yeah, I'm Definitely lagging. What is going on? Oh, I'm good now? Why am I seeing myself lagging? Lagging. Am I lagging now? Not lagging now. Definitely lagging. What in the heck? Lags and freezing. Okay, I love that. Am I lagging now? No. Okay, so I can't use my second screen with my new computer. That's so awesome. Freezes then releases. I'm not lagging now. Okay, so I can't use. Okay. All right, let's go back to this. So sorry. That's so annoying. Okay. You've already survived things that could have broken you but didn't. There's a need to give yourself more credit here. There's this feeling of like needing to rest before action and not giving that to yourself because there's still this state of feeling like you need to catch up. There's a need to kind of put that down. All right, let me go back to the top here. Let me go to these. Message and a song. Message and a song. I kind of like this on this side. Okay. You're in the chapter where rebuilding yourself is going to start to come a little bit easier, but it starts with your mindset about it. So there need to take a step back and address the mindset that's making you feel like things aren't going to be able to start being easier because you haven't earned it yet. There's this need to put down the need for more action and a release into what you've already done. Will the judge see who Jay really is this time with the evidence my lawyer and I have? It's coming, but not yet. It's coming, but not yet. There's this feeling of still putting the pieces together. 8 of Wands in the reverse is a delay, but the Moon in reverse is them seeing it. So it's coming. It's just not here yet. It feels like there's the evidence is one step, and then putting it together like a web is another step. Should I go on the retreat I've been thinking about? Yes, but like if you're either expecting this to be something very healing for yourself, or maybe you're hopeful to like make connections that'll be healing. I feel like this is going to be a deeply internal thing, which retreat, obviously that would kind of be that anyway, but this is like some kind of like comfortable solitude while around other people that you haven't yet experienced. So I would say yes, but it may also be painful because it's this energy of like, how long have I been avoiding this part of myself type of thing. All right, let me go back to the other list. Message and song from my guardian angel. Are those the other cards that just came out together like that? Cough Syrup by Young the Giant is the song. Let me see what these lyrics are. Life's too short to even care at all. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm losing my mind. Losing my mind. There's something almost like you're bracing for impact, but the crash already happened. Does that make sense? Like you're bracing for impact, almost like you're bracing to relive the crash that already happened. Not literal, obviously, like energetic or emotional, maybe. It's almost like you don't realize that you've already unpacked everything you needed to unpack from that. So yes, there's still layers of healing, but you don't need to continue to brace for impact. What area of my life needs to change first to stop feeling stagnant? Avoiding healing. I don't take that as inner child right now. There's a period of your life where you thought you wanted to take one path, things happen that force you onto a different path. There's some kind of perspective shift, limiting belief that happened at that time frame. I can't get what I want. I have to continuously work really hard to make ends meet. Like I can't ever be at ease or at rest. Something along those lines. That self-limiting belief is blocking you from seeing an option to move forward in some way. Will we get good news Wednesday for Braxton's check up on his shunt? Good news Wednesday. I'll word it like this. It feels like you're going to have answers, so you're going to know kind of which direction to head in. It doesn't feel like worst case scenario, but it doesn't feel like everything's in the clear either. Like there's something to be dealt with is kind of how I would word that. Let me see if I can fix my camera. Oh, there we go. 1 second. Okay. Any messages about CT and a song? Oh, now I made it backwards. Hold on. What is happening with this? Okay, we'll just leave it like that. One Man Band by Old Dominion. Message about CT. It feels like there's a lack of progress here because there's some kind of internal avoidance on CT's part. And it's like, I should be handling this better, or I should be showing up more emotionally available or emotionally mature, but I'm not addressing the internal work it would take to get there. Avoidance of the wound. Any guidance in my love life and a song or a token? A magnifying glass with the Emperor in reverse. Three of Swords. It's kind of giving when someone shows you who they are, believe them. 8 of Cups in reverse, but don't walk away. Interesting. Some things you don't need to address with words. You address them by shifting your energy. It's like, I saw that and now I'm going to move accordingly. I heard that and now I'm going to move accordingly. You've said all the words. Now it's time to back up your words with actions, but not actions of walking away, actions of like, you think you won't feel the impact of my energy pulling back? Okay. You will. Like that, but not in like a spiteful way, just in like a, you'll feel the impact of the distance of my love if you're not going to choose to hold it carefully. Carefully is not the word. Appropriately. Is there a bird flu pandemic on the near horizon? Is a recommended vaccine going to be pushed soon? Bird flu pandemic. No, it's not going the direction of bird flu. Something else, but not bird flu. Page of Wands in reverse to me is like the opposite of bird flu, because Page of Wands would be exploration, which is like a bird. A bird's constantly exploring. And then the Empress to me would be birth of that, like passing it on. Bird passed on, both reversed. And the Sun in reverse is no. Recommended vaccine. I mean that, yeah, but not associated with bird pandemic, something else. Will I get a new car soon? Will I get a new car soon? Not as soon as you'd like, but you are going to it's like you pick the car and you're like, okay, this is what I need to do to get it. Or like, this is what, it almost kind of feels like you take something slightly outside of your original price range and you have to like plan for it for a minute. Like, let me get all my ducks in a row. Let me maybe sell something or move some money around. It's like that kind of thing. It's like you see it and you're like, I want that one. And then you make it happen. So a little longer than you'd hope is how I'd word that. Now my mouse is jumping to far away. Okay. It's going really well. Hold on, I lost my spot. Sierra, Erica, and I are hoping to hear something from Mary. Were one of you like a therapist to Mary, like not literal, but like friend wise or something, or vice versa? It's like the message for that person is stop it. There's some like train of thought that's not healthy or not like a shoulda, coulda, woulda that needs to be put down, as I always kind of word that. Some truths don't come in a straight line. You have to be willing to see differently. Wands, Eight of Wands in reverse. Something might not make sense now, but it's going to make sense in time. And it's almost like he's going to give you some kind of sign when you have come to the right understanding on it. Oh, a light bulb. It's a light bulb. I don't know why this screen is so blurry, but I don't want to mess with it because nothing is working today. Let me go to this list. A message from my Uncle Greg, please. Message from Uncle Greg. I want you to open your heart to the memories that bring joy, not just sadness. You can do it. Amazing Grace by Elvis Presley. Oh, and this card was in there too, or the one I just used. So glasses. I'm showing you what to release so that you can move forward. I'm showing you what, okay. Uncle Greg would be saying something like the last couple days or weeks were not just like a million little pricks of annoyances. It was to help show you what needs to be released so that you can move forward. Like what needs to be released has been like those little dogs that bite your ankles. It's been like that for the last couple weeks. And it's almost like he's saying that was so you could be tired of it enough to let it go. How am I progressing with my soul contract? What direction should I be going or working on? How have you been progressing? You've made the right changes. You've peeled away the right layers. The next layer is the most painful, though, or the more painful. This is like Empress in reverse, Eight of Wands in reverse. Okay, you faced all that. Now, what have you been saving for last? What wound have you like peeked over your shoulder and you're like, I still see it, but I got all this other stuff. I'm going to do this first. And then I'll turn around and look at that one. Not that the room is empty of all other wounds, but you've accumulated enough wisdom from the ones that you've already faced to face that one so that you're not that's the only one that's still behind you. Like if you're in a room and there's all of these shadows and wounds in front of you, there's one that's behind you. And you're like, I don't know yet. Maybe I'll deal with these ones a little bit more. I need locks for my wheels on my chair. Maybe it feels like you've been kind of like you get close to the shadow and the shadow kind of pushes you away almost. Unworthy soul. Believing you must earn love and light because your recent experiences have been validating that false belief because you have felt, you know what it is? You have felt only worthy when you're doing, and that has triggered the wound that's behind you. So, comfortable solitude and like if the only way you can feel like you're not actively having to earn your worth is being alone, then maybe give yourself that time to do that. It's like reprogramming that part of your brain that says you have to do to receive. You're back in that mindset. Will Jack eventually get his ADHD medication he needs to focus on his new job? Why don't they want to work with him? It's like, it's what's that term? The runaround. This is like someone giving him the runaround. Like, I know you need it, but do this and that and jump through this hoop. We'll eventually get it. Clarity on tools. Is there like an advocate he could use to like force their hand in some way? It just feels like they're playing games almost. Eventually, yeah, but he may need to like get like a spokesperson for him or something to make things happen quicker. Message for the week. Message for the week. The belief around your confidence is being challenged. You may be less confident, or you may be more confident than you're giving yourself credit for, but you're talking yourself out of feeling like you're worthy of the confidence. Like, you fought hard to be confident in this specific area and you feel it, it's there. It's not that the confidence isn't, it's just that your mind is like, oh no, you're not allowed to be that. You're not allowed to be confident about that. That's wrong. There's a reframing of that perspective happening. New member, thank you. Staying chill when they expect you to be triggered is top tier growth. The fire that used to like be thrown externally, you're now using to kind of light the way internally. So put any of that recently into some kind of creative project. There's something that's like right there. I'm gonna go back to the other list after this one. What trauma woundings does my brother Christian have? How can I help him? What shadow are we looking at here? The wound of the chosen burden. Picked for responsibility, not love. This wound arises when you're valued for what you do, not who you are. Kind of like what I was just saying with the other reading. If I'm not exhausting myself, I'm not worthy of rest. I'm not worthy of receiving. This is likely rooted in some kind of either abandonment from others that has resulted in self-abandonment. Like, I don't know how to sit with myself because I don't know how to earn my own. I don't know how to earn my own love. Like, I can do things for others and earn their love. How do I earn my own when I can't sit with myself? The Emperor in reverse. And it feels like this is a case where either this person has poured themselves a lot into their passions, their talents, their work, or they just run. Like, I every time I feel it, every time I see the shadow, I start sprinting. That one of those, I either busybody or just run. Just started back to school and I'm starting an Etsy shop. What can I expect? Trial and error, finding out what works and what doesn't. The Knight of Pentacles reverse is interesting because it's upright, like diligence, like building, slow and steady, right? It being reversed is like it growing is less about finding what works and more about just doing it and eliminating what doesn't, right? The right people are going to help spread this. It's just needing to give not like a watered down, but like a simplified way for them to find it, to spread it with you, if that makes sense. So it's like pushing a ball up over a hill. You push it to the top and then other people help push it out, but you need those people to feel like they're getting something out of building that community, if that makes sense. Message from spirit with a token and a song. I almost stuck my arm in my coffee cup. Music. So the song is important. Scared to Start by Michael Marcagi, Marcagi. Wearing an old dress, walking it out, waiting for someone to turn her around. Oh, interesting. Waiting for someone to turn her around. Huh. Sorry, I was listening to the song. There's something that it's almost like you're waiting for the external circumstances to open up. But this is something that you give to yourself by shifting what you're giving your energy to. And it also feels like someone's been coming through a lot in music, and that's kind of pointing you as like a green light to whatever this change or shift of energy or shift of focus is. It's like if you listen to the music, it's someone on the other side trying to be like, yeah, this is the shift. Go there, if that makes sense. What is my purpose? What is my purpose? Right now, your purpose is who you become when you don't rush through your healing. Sorry, I cannot figure out where this camera is reading. Anyway, who you become when you don't rush through your healing, when you sit with it. It's like you get pieces back of yourself that help show you this is what drives me. This is my why. This is what can motivate me. Right now, you're looking at the deepest parts of yourself to find what motivates you, and that becomes your target, and you become your purpose. Message of direction from spirit, team, and a song. Hey Soul Sister by Train. Interesting. You're waiting for the train to arrive. And it feels like in this waiting, it's like you can't leave the train station because then you're going to miss the train. But there's this feeling of like trouble sitting there waiting. Like you're waiting for what comes next. You're expecting something to come in, and there's this like anxiousness with it, right? There's something to be learned in the waiting period. Six of Swords in reverse is like you're not leaving yet because there's something here that you're meant to bring with you, information-wise, knowledge-wise, strength-wise, healing. So it's not that the train is late. The train is on time. The train comes when you embody what needs to come with you onto the train. Any messages for today? It's not your responsibility. It's not your responsibility to clear up the way that someone purposefully misperceived something. If they heard what they wanted to hear the first time because it suited a certain narrative, it's not your responsibility to go back and feel like you did something wrong to cause that. It's almost like you're about to see a situation from the flipped perspective, and you're going to be like, oh, okay, that was never my problem. But it may hurt for a moment in the realization of it. What did I release with my lucid dream the other night? Oh, the moon in reverse, something big. I have swords in reverse. The wall around throat chakra. The wall around like a bungee cord someone once connected to your throat chakra so you couldn't go down a certain path of expression. This is like the bungee cord cut off. I keep looking at these. I feel like palm trees are important in this. I don't know if that's like something that happened in a season of your life that was ease and then quickly was not ease, like you were on vacation and ended abruptly, energetically, you know what I mean? It's like something that your life was going very brightly, and then the darkness was because of someone putting a bungee cord in your throat chakra. That's broken. Any messages for me today? Oh, thank you. Any messages for me today? It feels like you're trying to figure out the next steps, right? It's like you have steps 1 and 2 figured out, and you're like, I don't want to go on step 1 until I figure out step 3. I want to have like a two thing heads up, right? But there's some kind of conversation required so that you're not recognizing the conversation is actually a prequel to step 1, right? Because it's symbolic of you knowing that you're deserving of taking up that space. So the conversation is the prequel to step 1 is the message. What is my soul contract? What is your soul contract? To sit with the fear and take back your power. To sit with the fear of what? What is your soul contract? To sit with the fear and take back your power when you feel like you don't have a choice. Oh, realizing that what you do not change, you choose. So your soul contract is to recognize when things are continuing from autopilot. Like they're only continuing because I'm not changing something that's allowing them to continue. Feels like that, like little series of that all over the place in your life. Will I get a job at a school that I've applied to this week? Job and school aligned with me. It's interesting because the King of Pentacles would lead me to believe yes, but then we have the 10 of Pentacles and Ace of Swords, which is like they see that you'd be a good fit for the position, but what's actually going on with that position? Like, could there potentially be someone coming back to be like, oh, I don't want to leave, never mind, give me that position back? Something is not as concrete as it seems in their process, is how I'd word this. I think there's potential, but I feel like there's some wishy-washy. Like, I don't get it. Yes or no? Not 85 cards falling out. This one fell in my lap. I don't think so. 5 of Wands would be that person potentially coming back or something. I don't think so. There's a possibility, there's a potential, but if that's the case, it may not be as good as you'd hope. Like there's something off about it. What is the significance of feeling like it's useless to get on that train, which is a fairly new feeling? What is the significance of feeling like it's useless to get on the train? Crippled Magician. When power is feared and therefore hidden. Interesting. Because if you get on the train, there's no more playing it small. There's no more hiding in the old reality that you had outgrown. There's no more, I don't want to say like excuses, because it doesn't feel like you make excuses. It just feels like, Once you graduate, you're not in college anymore. You're a college graduate, right? This is that. It's like getting on the train is the graduation, and it's like, yeah, well, I can't introduce myself as a college, this is just an example, a college student anymore. I'm not that. Now I'm an adult. Now I'm out in the world. Now every decision is my full responsibility, and I feel the weight of that. That's getting on the train. That's the resistance, because something has convinced you that you're not ready. Something has convinced you that you're seeing things distorted. Because I'm saying that because it's driving me nuts that my hand's on the opposite side. It's the flip view. And it's that. It's like, you know that right now is not the true reflection, but once you see the true reflection, there's no going back to the not true reflection. So it feels like that. Let me go back to the other list. And it moved me. I love that. Nope, did that one. CT did that one. Love life. Oh, it moved me back up. Okay, 1 second. Here we go. Advice from my father about my current health choices after surgery. Advice from my father. Two. Love doesn't end, it just changes form but never disappears. Oh, use the cards with the rest of the line. 8 of Pentacles, the Empress, Hierophant, all in reverse. Changes form but never disappears. The Empress in reverse. The way you need to care for yourself changes form but never disappears. The Hierophant in reverse. The belief that you have around the way you need to care about yourself changes form but never disappears. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Changing the commitment. Different levels of your healing are going to require different levels of yourself. So you're unlocking the level of yourself that gets you to the deeper one. So right now, trust yourself about, this is like intuitive, right? This is like in your gut, in your heart, you're going to know if you're heading in the right direction. And it's almost like he's saying, don't stop asking for these confirmations from me, because I would love to always give them to you, and I always will. However, before you ask this question today, it's almost like you didn't feel okay with your choices until you heard from him that it's okay. And he's saying that feeling that you're feeling, that gut feeling, that intuitive hit, that is him. That already is him. So he's not saying don't keep asking, ask as much as you want, but also know that that gut feeling that's saying thumbs up is already him also. Oh, I'll stand by you by the Pretenders. And he's holding up a little yes sign with a phone. Or not a phone, but like a question mark thing. Oh, when you ask the question, you get the answer right away in the gut feeling, in the intuitive. That is him. Should I go for another injection in my wrist as the pain has returned as bad? As the pain has returned as bad. Should I go for another injection? Is there something else besides an injection? If you got another injection right now, would it, I don't know, like I'm seeing like putting more liquid into a pipe that's already has liquid in it. Like, is it too soon or something like that? But before or since the last one? Or like, are you right on the cusp of like, okay, you can get it now? Like, is there something you could do to start to prolong the time period in between injections? Because I fear that if you're getting them right when you can, or very soon, or very close, it's going to make you more dependent on them. Where if right now we start incorporating something else in with it, maybe like, I don't know, something else in with it, stretching or some kind of mobilization thing. I don't know. Maybe it could prolong the need for that and buy you more time in between. That's how I would word that. Message to Anna from her Father in heaven and a song. Message to Anna. Look through others. Someone you least expect will confirm what you've already sensed. She needed to hear that he's okay. It's almost like there's this fear that's playing out in her life. But it's like maybe stemming, when we worry about something so that something else is masked, like she may be feeling like she's really worried that if he's okay or not, but it's almost like that's masking a different emotion. So the emotion coming up is grief, because grief is love with nowhere to go, right? The emotion coming up is grief, and she's like, oh, I'm grieving him. And then it's okay. Now I'm panicking. Is he okay? Why is this coming up? Why am I feeling this? Am I feeling this because he's not okay or something like that? But it's really the grief stemming from other wounds to be released. But this grief for him is the biggest grief. So it goes to that. So what else besides just him not being here could be where that grief is stemming from? Because it's almost like he's saying when you deal with that, it'll stop bothering you. Better Days by Dermot Kennedy. Better days are coming if no one told you, is the lyrics. Message from my spirit guides and a song. A bar song by Shabuzi. Hold on. What are the lyrics? I have a different playlist on today. Trying something new. I can't worry about my problems. I can't take them when I'm gone. Oh. Got ya. Whatever you're experiencing right now is meant to be pushing you out of a comfort zone. This is like you're finding yourself stagnant, and this is to get you moving again. The shadow was inevitably going to rise again. This is like it's rising right now to get comfortable being uncomfortable so that you can step out of the comfort zone in some way. Message from Spirit Team on getting out of debts. This is like, to me, taking action right now to start some kind of consolidation, to start some kind of Two of Pentacles is like I have this and that and this and that. And in reverse, it's like I put them all on one plate and now I just have this one plate to deal with. Would there be some kind of like instead of having to deal with so many different factors, and this could also be, no, it would have to be that because Two of Pentacles in reverse would be collapsing that. This to me reads like some kind of consolidation or some kind of like sitting down and getting real clear about where you're at, where the spending's going, where tracking everything. It's like the more you can figure out where the imbalance is coming from, you can start to put things together on the same plate. That's kind of the image that I'm getting. What is my soul mission in this lifetime? To share to share the wisdom, I guess I'd say, of or that you attained. It's like you kept getting doors slammed in your face, right? And this is like, now I help other people know what to do when the doors get slammed in their face, or help them avoid doors getting slammed in their face. This is like I refused to stay behind the slammed door, and now I share that in some way. What can I expect from my new journey going to school and starting my Etsy shop? Almost like chipping away at a wall, right? Kind of literal like that. It's like you keep chipping, you keep chipping, you keep chipping, and then eventually you chip enough that the whole thing collapses in a good way. Like you're trying to get this wall to collapse in this case. What you want is on the other side of the wall. So you're chipping away at the wall. It's going to be slow and steady. And then it feels like there's opportunity to get one good hit and the whole thing collapses and then it's right there. But it's like you have to continue the diligence of the chipping away at this thick brick wall type effect in front of you. Message from my guides. Message from my guides. I need a song. This is going in one of two directions. Movement by Movement by Hooser. That's how you say that, right? Hosier. This is going in one of two directions. Movement. It's going in both. So one, there's a conversation that you're going to need to be the authority in, but not come across like the authority. It's like someone who would be very easily triggered by truth needs you to show up gentle but confident, or gentle but directive, maybe is the word. And then the other thing is there's something resurfacing so that you can handle it differently than you handled it the first time, that's separate from that conversation. So not the conversation, something else comes up so you can handle it differently. It's not a punishment, it's a release. Is my higher self happy with where I am right now? I'm going to go to the other list in a minute. Oh, I was like, where is this going? You're working very hard to knock down the walls that you put around your heart to survive, because now you're realizing that you can create the safe space to feel and protect yourself. And this feels to be a lot with discernment. You now not only know you have discernment, but you've seen your discernment in action. And that's allowing you to say, okay, one by one, I'll take down these bars that I had around my heart. Not all of them at once, but I'm using my discernment here. I'll let in the people who are safe to be in. So I would say yes, big happy. Oh yeah, the other list on them. Any messages from my spirit team about May, my birthday month, for me, please? The Fool, happy birthday. Allow for things that are right now feeling set in stone to change. Because it's almost like you're getting a birthday present from the spirit realm of a change in a piece of the path. But at first you're gonna be like, that's not what I wanted. But in fact, it's what you needed. See, the little dog, you just need to trust, right? Trust that you're being led to a pivot, not like a taking off of your path and putting on another one, but like a slight pivot. And you're going to be like, no, I want to correct the way I was facing before. But the pivot is what leads you to the next stage. The Empress on the bottom of the deck. So trust the pivot. The pivot is a birthday present from your higher self to yourself, but it comes in uncomfortable packaging. Can I get a song? And also, should I leave my current situation? New Light by John Mayer. And the boy in your other phone, lighting up inside your drawer at home all alone, pushing 40 in the friend zone. We talk and then you walk away every day. Should you leave your current situation? It feels like yes, because you're having to put yourself in the drawer in order to maintain said current situation. It just said, if you give me one night, you're going to see me in a new light, and the sun is right there. It's like you've shown everything there is to show, and it's not a lack of you showing that. It's a lack of the reciprocation of that. So it's not something else that you need to do, is what I'd say. So my answer to this is, if you knew there was nothing else you could do to convince the situation or person in the situation to see things differently, would you be okay with how they perceive things right now? Because it doesn't feel like that's changing anytime soon. Why did Whitney start ignoring me all of a sudden? Is it something I did? It's not something you did, it's something you triggered. Not intentionally. This is like, the fight's not with you, the fight's with my own self. I'm not loving myself through something that's making me feel less confident, and something between us has triggered me to feel in that almost like this person is having imposter syndrome because of something that they realized through something with the unfolding of something that happened between the two of you. But it doesn't feel like it was intentional. It's just one of those, like, I'm mad at me, but I'm making it your problem thing. Message from guides with a token. The water fountain with 1, 2, 3 on it. What was her name? Whitney, the last one? Something's impacting you more than you're realizing that it is. And there's a need to realize that it's not the situation itself, it's what the situation is highlighting, which is where you give your power away. How are you letting the situation define the way you feel about yourself, and what domino effect is that having right now? 2 more and then back to the other list. Insight to making shorter podcasts. Are you sure you want to be asking me that question? Just made like a 2-hour one that I'm trying to cut down. An insight to my idea of making a sort of workshop on various topics in teacher wellness. A sort of collection of workshops. I feel like that's something you could do with Stan Store, because you can make different courses. In the courses, you can do descriptions, you can do what's it called? Like uploads, you can do links, and then you can sell the links to the Stan Store on Etsy. But Etsy doesn't have a platform where you can turn something into a course right on Etsy. So you could do the course on Stan Store, or those like teachable tutory type websites. I think one is actually called Teachable. I could be making that up. Anyway, that's what came to mind with that last sentence. Insight into making a shorter podcast. Slicing, cutting the whole thing by using tools. I used Podcastle. Right now I'm going through, I finished Taylor's. I have Aaron's is like 2.5 hours. I'm trying to cut that down right now. Just go into an app like Podcastle, and it lets you segment by segment make things shorter, so you can kind of cut out all the extra parts. That's my only recommendation for that. Why am I psychically acting out in dreams in my sleep? Dream is about a bird. I reach out and touch. I wake up and my arm is reaching for the bird. Don't take these beautiful things that I've done. Beautiful Things by Benson Boone. It gives like inner child reactivating. Or like not being silent anymore, or coming back to life, or like you're your imagination is reawakening because your inner child is healing, or your inner child is coming back out, or something along those lines. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. It was buried. Now it's up above the soil. What? Inner child. Six of Cups. Justice, because it's time. You've earned this. It feels like your creativity is coming back to life. Or what's that other word I just used? Imagination. Your imagination coming back to life is how I'd word that. Okay, well, where was I? I was at like 38, I think. Hold on, this moved my space again. Did that with Jamie. Message guys, I did that one. Should I go to Utah during my vacation this summer? Is there something else that you're not doing so that you can go to Utah? Because it feels like the other thing would be better. Not that anything bad would happen, right? It's not like you need to like worry. I don't know. It's just like, it just feels like it wouldn't be what it wouldn't, you would maybe feel like you wasted part of your time going there, is how that reads. I need to like itch my whole face. Oh my gosh, my allergies. Okay, hold on. It feels like there's pollen in my pores. Okay, and I was outside for 2 seconds. Any guidance in my future business plans? Clarity about how to communicate more efficiently. Clarity on how to communicate more efficiently. This kind of feels like your literal business plan. Like if you sit and almost have a meeting, set up your computer or something, have a meeting with yourself and explain to yourself your entire business plan as if you were an investor. Would you invest in that if the money to invest in that was the only money you could invest in anything? Like, would this be like a heck yes from the investor if the investor was you, right? It feels like as you do that, you're going to start to see where there's maybe some cracks or things that can be made better. So you don't have to do so much trial and error or something along those lines. Is my mom's... Nope, we're not taking all them. Is my mom's doctor being honest with us? Is my mom's doctor being honest with us? Temperance. I don't think that they're lying, but I think that they may be withholding some important information. Slowness to reveal, not telling everything. What are they not telling? Something that's a pentacle. This is like King of Pentacles. Almost like if they were to explain something a little bit more thoroughly or in a way that they knew you could better understand it, not that they're not telling you the truth, but that they're not telling you the completeness of the truth or something along those lines. So they have something, they're holding on to something that if they were to reveal it in a way that you would fully understand and comprehend, you may take a different action or more action than you're taking right now. If there was a further understanding of something that they may not be explaining fully, properly, or thoroughly. I feel like I'm about to start sneezing, and if I do, it's going to be a minute. Just heads up. It's like 25 at a time. Any messages from my guide for the month of May? For the month of May. I feel like you're going to be annoyed by May, but like in a good way, because you're going to have a decision. You're going to choose A and then realize, never mind, B was the right one. But I had to realize A was the wrong one so I could choose B as the right one. So you're not wasting time. You need the self-love. It's a test to see if you can still be compassionate with yourself if you perceived yourself to have made a mistake, because it's not a mistake. And me telling you this now will prove to you then that's not a mistake. So you knowing that in that moment, will you be able to show yourself compassion? Will my husband move out soon, or will I have to leave? Him? You. Oof. I feel like you may get to a point where it's so much of, okay, I'm going to do it now. Okay, I'm going to do it now. Or I pack and then I unpack or something like that. Maybe I leave and I come back. I don't think it would be that one. It feels like the other two. It feels like you eventually get to a point where you give like an ultimatum of sorts, like, if this, then this. I would say it feels more like he's going to drag his feet past the point of where you want to wait for. I do think he eventually, I don't know. Do I think that? No, I don't think he's leaving. I think he's going to drag his feet. Try and outstall you. Has my team guide been close? Has your team guide been close? You don't feel... Oh, that just flipped out on its own. You don't feel like they have, but that doesn't mean that they haven't. It just means that sometimes they're close but quiet, because you're meant to be figuring out the action to take on your own. It almost feels like one of those situations where you heard a quiet whisper of like, okay, this is the direction. And now you're trying to get proof of your confidence in taking that direction. So it's like this part you got to figure out on your own for a second type of thing is how I'd word that. So are they close? Yes, but quiet also yes. Message and song from Chris. Message and song. I don't just speak to you, I send messages through those around you. The Emperor. I'm not going to be able to figure out where this camera's pointing. Let me move this down. There we go. It feels like either recently or upcoming. Would there be a conversation with Chris you felt was unfinished? And it's almost like he's saying, I'm giving you the piece to finish this, or finish the thought, or finish the conversation, something along those lines. Better Days by Dermot Kennedy. It's like giving you the giving you the missing piece of something is the final digit needed so you can figure out the equation of something. It'll help the math add up, if that makes sense. Message to my brother, Len, from his dad, Len Sr. Message to Len from Len Sr. To Len. There's something you need to let go of because what is ahead is lighter than what's behind. There's a feeling of like, I don't even want to call this like a generational wound. I want to call this like a small group within the generations. Like maybe like the males in the family or something. There's a specific wound that he's acknowledging, Len Sr. is acknowledging Len Jr. breaking. And it's like this was the one thing that would have maybe potentially not helped you align with your potential, but now that it's been released, you can. So it's almost like there's this waiting for the next shoe to drop, and Len Sr. is saying to Len Jr., the next shoe's not going to drop because of the strides you've made to face what others ran from. Don't Blink by Kenny Chesney. Let it go on the balloon. All right, let me go to this list. What should I focus on? Am I on the right track? No. Not that you're on the wrong track, but there's a need to shift focus. It's almost like you're focusing on the problems instead of the solutions, and that's perpetuating the problems to last longer because you're not seeing where the solutions are meant to be gaps in the problems where you could get off the path and get onto a different one. But I also feel like this isn't your fault because for so long you would come up with a solution and someone would hand you a new problem, but now you're not dealing with the people that would hand you back the problem. So there's a need to try again to embrace that mindset of solutions. And it starts with like what no longer needs your energy. What no longer deserves. If you only have, sorry, my ice is loud. If you only have, let's say 100% battery, pretend you're a phone, right? You only have 100% battery. If I pay this thought 20% of my attention, I only have 80% left for all the other stuff. Look at it like that. Like when you're focusing on something that's a problem, how many percentages of my battery am I willing to give to this? Because that's less I'm going to have for a solution. You know what I mean? Sorry, there's also pollen in my throat. Okay. Any other insight to landing ideal job this month? Making a choice of the best use of your tools. 9 of Cups in reverse to problem solve. Is there a way that you could look at common issues within a certain environment and include with maybe your application or something, this is my proposed way to deal with this lasting issue or this like unresolved issue, or like this is something that typically goes wrong in this environment. I think teaching, right? And these would be my ways of dealing with it, or something like that. So it feels like that may be something that would help, or maybe just starting to create that, put that out there type of thing. I don't feel like it's going to be this month though. I have Ace of Cups, which is slower moving as well. I wouldn't get too tied into a set time frame either. It feels like there's something you're birthing, and that's going to line up with the timeline of something. All right, let me get back to this list. Big Len Jr. did that one. Now my contacts are dry. Would it be a good idea for me to sell crystal terraniums? Oh, that's cool. I like them. Crystal terraniums that I make. This feels like something that could potentially do well on like TikTok or something like that. But the 10 of Wands to me is the burden of getting other people to help you push it out. So whether that's making them for a certain amount of people and using those people as affiliates to help push out the product. It feels like focusing on how am I going to expand the knowledge about this even existing. And once you can kind of get a set plan for that, it feels like that's the time that you can start moving forward with it. Again, just like a bunch of funnels that lead out to the ocean type of thing. You need to find the funnels of how it's going to get there. Is CT ever going to address whatever wound is causing our stagnation? Not. This is someone who's actively making the choice not to. This is like, it's not that I don't see it. I see it and I'm like, not doing that. So it's not that this person's unaware. If this person was unaware, then you could bring it to their awareness and see how they respond. We know how they're going to respond because they already know. This is something that they're going to have to deal with internally first before there can be external progress. So the more you can encourage them to work on themselves, if they're not ready to talk about it with themselves, they're not going to be ready to talk about it with you. What is Bridget's message about finances? And I will have your giveaway reading today, by the way, probably, if not today, tomorrow. Anyway, Bridget's message about finances and why all the hang-ups. You're not maybe seeing how certain things that you think will be solutions are actually only going to cause more problems, and there's a need to change the strategy. So the hang-ups are Bridget or Spirit being like, nope. When someone tries to do a slam dunk and then someone else knocks it out of the net is what I'm seeing. Like someone's like, no, that's going to cause another problem. It's going to cause another problem. You just don't see it yet as that. This is that. Magician. Look for different tools in the toolbox than you've already been trying to use. Will the trip to San Francisco be good for me? In what way? Or should I cancel? It will be good for you in the way that it helps you communicate in a way that typically would be outside of your comfort zone. But I also feel like whatever leads to that, you're going to be like, okay, I would have rather not dealt with that at all, especially not on a trip. I feel okay. So this card was like, how will you look at it after? I feel like you're going to kind of wish you didn't go. You'll be like, okay, either I wish I didn't go or like, oh, glad that's done. One or the other. Would Luke be better going private to get the ADHD possibly investigated? Yes. Higher knowledge of how to fight against what is currently overpowering him. So I would say yes. Everybody say congratulations to Linda. That is amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. I saw your email, by the way. I'm very behind. I'm going to try and answer that today. But that is amazing. Let's get a card from your parents with that. Breaking Out of the Shell. Live Like You Were Dying by Tim McGraw. Step forward even when the way isn't fully clear. You can't see that at all. What's happening today? Step forward even when the way isn't fully clear. Breaking out of the shell. Mm-hmm. One second. That's a good question. What does putting your hand in coffee mean? The Emperor. That I need to slow down because I've been going all over the place this morning. That would have slowed me down if I would have put my hand in my coffee. It did just get out of the microwave. Does Dave have a message for me or his daughters? It's the same card. Daughters. The path ahead of you isn't meant to look like anyone else's. Path ahead of you isn't meant to look like anyone else's. There's a need to make sure, there's advice here, or like a need to make sure any decisions that they're making in the near 6 to 12 months feels significant for some reason. Before finalizing any decisions, look yourself in the mirror and say, am I making this decision because of what is best for me? That's it. That's all he wants. Look in it, not you, daughters. Maybe you too. You can do it too. Why not? But daughters, look in the mirror next 6 to 12 months. Any important, impactful decision, look in your eyeballs. Am I making this decision for what is best for me? If I'm the one dealing with the consequences of my decisions, is this what's best in my interest? That's what he wants. Because it feels like there's something good. Like it doesn't feel like a negative thing, by the way. What can I know about Jill's health? Would it make sense if I say that something is treating the symptoms more so than the issue? Like if there's like new medication or something, I'm not saying like stop taking it. I'm just saying like if there's an up and down, it doesn't mean that something was working and stopped. It just means that something isn't working fully yet. How do I word that differently? The body going through a trial and error period to see how to make use of something that isn't fully made use of yet. So things are going to kind of get better and worse is kind of how that feels. Or like some treating the symptoms instead of the issue. Once the symptoms are alleviated, you'll see more clearly where the issue is coming from, and then you can fix that, if that makes sense. Message from my new heart doc and a song. More Than My Hometown by Morgan Wallen. Our mamas are best friends, and so are we. The whole town is rooting for us like the home team. I would say you're in very good hands. Knight of Pentacles being reversed, though, makes me feel like you're in good hands, but you're in the hands of their timing. Like, if they frustrate you by not doing things quickly enough, it doesn't mean that you're not in good hands. It just means that maybe they have too much on their plate or something, but you're still in good hands when you're in their hands, even if it's a wait to be able to get there, if that makes sense. Yeah, the Empress on the bottom. It's like they're going to help you see something, the light bulb. It's like they shine light on the right thing. What is the lesson I'm meant to learn in this life? So, Page of Swords, this like student energy, right? This is like a student of learning how to think differently in situations that feel like hope has been drained. Queen of Pentacles is like, I bring peace. I bring purpose to these lessons. So the lesson you're meant to learn in this lifetime, but like one of the impactful ones, one of the major ones, is sometimes when external circumstances are causing derail or disruption, It's simply the mirror of within needing to learn what you need from self. So like when the external is falling apart, what do I need from myself so that the inside can be fixed and mirror the external? Not fixed, but like rebalanced and then reflect externally. 6 of Cups in reverse on the bottom of the deck. Some kind of self-limiting belief from when you were younger associated with that. Will Kiera and Sean's relationship move to the next step? It may, but then it may be something where we try that and it kind of doesn't work and then we make a decision to walk away. This feels very when the good times are good, they're good, but do the bad times, do they get erased because of that is the question, and it feels like they keep coming up. Any messages? Any messages? Something feels to need to be changed in the day to day. This is like you're pouring a little bit into this cup every day that like had a little poison in the bottom of it, right? So like now it's on your, hypothetically, on your kitchen table and you're pouring a little bit more water into this every day. So the poison that was at the bottom of the cup is starting to come out and go onto the table. You obviously don't want it on the table, right? So there's a need to stop focusing on the cup that you're pouring this energy, these thoughts, these emotions into, because eventually it's just going to dump out poison on the table and you don't want that. Strength on the bottom of the deck. So you're strong enough to let go of this train of thought that's leading you to the wrong. When you stay on the wrong train too long, it's more expensive to get home. That's this, getting off of that train. Why do I keep dreaming I'm moving as I love my house and have no intention to move? Think internal, or maybe still external, but not physical move. In what are you blocking yourself from experiencing right now because you are, it doesn't feel like you're convincing yourself you don't have the time. It just feels like you don't have the time right now to do something that to stop doing something. It's like needing to reestablish routine or like sit with yourself and really go deep into like a mindset or something like that. But it's like you keep just not having time. So it feels like this is symbolic of that, like that movement that your subconscious is craving. Like not literal movement, hypothetical movement. Any guidance on what I should do regarding my father? It feels like there's a need to trust your wisdom right now as it pertains to like, it's like you get a clear view of the situation and then your brain flips to a different perspective, like maybe his perspective, like how he would read what you're reading. It's like you already have the answer. You just keep second guessing yourself. And with the Hangman in reverse, I feel like you're second guessing yourself because there's time to like let's say you have to make a decision on something. It's like I decide and then it doesn't go into effect until a month later, so I have this whole time to sit and think about things. I feel like that's what's messing your confidence of your knowing up. So I feel like if you sit and write, like when you feel like that feeling comes on of, okay, I'm reading this correctly, write it down or speak it out. So that way, when you start to get into that buyer's remorse of your decision or your choice, you can go back in and kind of remember the energy of when you were more certain. It just feels like that. It feels like you already know, you just kind of need that reminder. And as long as you take action from the place of purity and love, like you're acting with good intentions, you're not going to make the wrong choice. I'm on like 11:06 timestamp in case anyone's curious. Oh my gosh. Wait, that means I forgot to do the giveaway. And you guys are probably telling me, but it's all the way down. All right, let's do the giveaway really quick. I'm going to go to the bottom. Okay, so I need to come back up to 11:06. 11:06. Okay, I'm going to go to the bottom and we're going to do the giveaway of the reading. Okay, so everyone write, I don't know, just your name. Oh, I have to turn off the speed thing. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, slow mode off. Okay, slow mode is off. Everybody write your name in the chat. We're going to do a 10-minute reading giveaway. Okay, go. Closing my eyes. Let's get a new song. Chasing You by Morgan Wallen. That's funny because I'm picking a name. I'm going to give you another, I don't know. Let me turn this. Put on Do Not Disturb. Okay. Got 30 seconds to type your name. Oh, Taylor, I saw your email too. I still have to answer you. Anyone who emailed me, I'm very behind on emails. 10 seconds. Let me go up to the top so I can. There we go. Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to close my eyes. I hope I'm clicking. Did I do it? Cindy, Ramblin' Red Rose, you won. So please email me thereckoning.ak@gmail.com. And give me like a week because I'm a tad bit behind. Okay. 11:06. 11:06. 11:06. Oh, hold on. Let me turn slow mode back off. That would not be fun. Okay, that's off. Also, if anyone knows how to make a second screen work with a Mac, please let me know. Or if there's only certain ones that connect to a Mac, please email me. I'll answer a free question for you or something if somebody can help me. Okay. I'm definitely not in the right spot. 11:06. Okay. Do you see a time frame for selling this house and buying a new one? Time frame for selling the house and buying a new one. I feel like when you start, if you haven't started yet, or from this point, it feels like there's this year to 11 or 11 months to a year time frame to sell. But it feels like there's a learning curve with buying. I don't know if that's a learning curve or like an access curve, like getting the right thing that you need in the right location for the right price. I feel like I would say 2 years seems to be a time frame that would allow for both things to happen. Will the throat chakra release take time to show itself? Will it help my channeling? Will it take time? Yes. Will it help your channeling? Yes, because it's going emotions or these blockages, right, are like a clog in the pipe, right? So you've removed a clog in the pipe. It may feel like at first you're stumbling through your words because now there's no clog and all the backed up words are like, "Ooh, let me out." But it's almost like that frustrates you for a minute and you're like, "Okay, I need to calm down. I need to reel it in." So it feels like it comes out quick. You notice it's there. This song is driving me nuts. And then there's like a period of hold back again while I recalibrate and then I come out again. So it's like a roller coaster, like a kid's roller coaster. It's not scary, but it's like, okay, I'm ready to get off. So you'll notice it quickly, but it'll take a little bit more to embody. Who haunts my workplace and do we have anything to fear? Not someone in a coffin in reverse to be the answer. No, it just feels like unfinished business, like a spirit attached to unfinished business. Like I'm waiting for clarity and then I'll go. I don't feel like it's anything to be fearful of. I think it's more just like, I guess I'd word it as a spirit waiting to see something through. It doesn't feel like associated with your work though. Maybe someone whose energy is just there, but they're dealing with something outside of there, like a family thing is kind of how that reads. I don't think it's anything to be scared of. Will Kyrian be made to fight tomorrow at the competition? Made to fight. Walking away unfulfilled, a delay on revelation. This reads to me more like no, because I'm reading this as fight. Fight is what the competition is, right? Like the competition is fighting. I don't think yes. I think it's no, if that's the right way to interpret that. Like if you're saying the competition is for fighting, I don't think so. But if I don't know what else the question would be, but I don't think so. There's some kind of delay. Should I sell my North Dakota asset? Should you sell? Should you sell? Could there be some what is that called when you make things not yet. I feel like there's things you could do so you could get more of a return on your investment. Queen of Wands in reverse is a lack of confidence in something. Page of Swords in reverse to me would be selling point here. Lack of confidence in a selling point that would make people take quicker action. I would say Page of Pentacles is saying the plan still needs to mature. Something needs to be made more confident here. I do think yes, but I think that there's a need to get it ready so that as is no, with preparation yes. Is there a message from my first husband? Everglow by Coldplay just caught my attention. What are the first words in this? Oh, they say people. Oh, they say people come, say people go. This particular diamond was extra special. And though you might be gone and the world may not know, I see you celestial. Oh, I wish I could tell you how beautiful your soul truly is. He's proud of the decisions that you've made to like choose to allow yourself to be okay despite every reason that you would have had not to be. I Hope You Dance by Leanne Womack is the song. Well, the other song. What do I not see coming? What do you not see coming? There's an actual effort to manipulate the truth, but you're going to hear what was not being said. It's almost like you have this moment of, oh, I realized why they didn't want to talk about that. I realized why that conversation was shut down at that point. I realized why they hung up. I realized why they, whatever it is. And it's going to kind of throw you off balance and it's going to hurt, but it's also going to free you. Song and a token. Song and a token. Superposition by Young the Giant. I don't believe in fate, no psychic vision. But when things fall into place, superposition. Going straight towards a final decision. Namaste. You're going straight towards a final decision. You're getting put in the right position to make a final decision. And the right decision is the one that brings you the most peace. What message do you get around my heart monitor results, please? Heart monitor results. Heart monitor. Were they monitoring like spurts of something? Like, was your heart like, you don't have to tell me, but like spiking or something? It's almost like whatever that was has evened out more or like balanced out more. Like if there was very big ebbs and flows and there wasn't supposed to be, if it was supposed to be more like middle of the line, it feels like you've decreased stress, but it doesn't feel like you've decreased like external stress. It's like you've decreased the stress around the heart. So maybe that's from medication, because it doesn't really feel like you're less stressed externally, just your heart is less stressed. I would say it feels like there's been progress. Less intensity of spikes. So maybe there's still spikes, but they're not as spiky or something like that. Would living in Thailand full-time be a good option for me in approximately 5 years? Hold on, I'm all wrapped up in my charger. Yes. Not yet, but in that time frame, yes. Maybe save up a little more than you were planning to. not that you'll need it per se, but like it'll help at least alleviate the stress of like a big move without having what you're used to around financially. So I would say increase whatever you are planning on saving in that time frame by like, I feel like 25% is a lot, but maybe like 10, 15%. All right, I'm going to do the super chats. I'm going to do a bunch of these so that I don't have to go back and forth with the list because I can't use my second screen. New member, thank you. You will overcome everything that is making you question yourself. Certain patterns, when they come back from the past, aren't a sign that you are still who you were in the past. They come back so you can be like, oh, look, that's not me anymore. I'm not going to respond to that or react to that in the same way that old me would have. So what may look like a punishment right now is simply you being like, oh, that's no longer me. So just so you can release it. You don't need to punish yourself for it. You can just say, no, no more. My lease ends 7/25 and I have to move back to MD by then. Confirmation that my new aligned job aligns with that timeline. So the first one was what, in a month? So a month, May to June. So now we have June to July. So another month and a half after that. I can't give confirmation on that. You want it, but there's some Three of Swords, frustration. As it pertains to Eight of Pentacles in reverse, the lack of the decision about the job. I don't feel like that aligns with that timeline. What does? An offer that you want less. It feels like something will align, but you're not going to want it as much as this one. And it may be because that's meant to be a stepping stone. Any information on what the pivot is? Taking action in the opposite direction of the fear. Strength, Five of Pentacles, Page of Swords in reverse. Would it make sense if I said you have an underlying fear of how people will judge you if you show them your intelligence, so it causes you to hold your intelligence back? And the pivot is you being like, never mind, I'm smart, so I'm just going to be smart and you're going to have to deal with it. That feels to be it. No longer watering down your intelligence because other people can hold space for it. Will my holy water idea take off? Will my holy water idea take off? Not like, how do I word this? Is it something you're doing standalone, or is it something that would be included in something else? Like, I feel like this is something, I'm seeing it like this. Like, I don't start just selling this. I start offering this as a bonus when you order a certain level of reading, right? So it's like a little incentive, and then that can grow and that can grow. It feels like something that's meant to be like a side thing. Are you avoiding something else by working on this? Would be my question. Hierophant. Are you avoiding something else that needs your attention? It's meant to be teaching you what you're avoiding right now. That's the first step in this. Spreading yourself too thin is kind of the vibe. I got 4 more, and then I'm going to go back to the other list. Will my business be profitable? What is my purpose? In order for something to birth, there needs to be an intelligent yet creative solution. And it feels like there's a need to go back to the drawing board with that. Will your business be profitable? I feel like it has the potential to be, but it's not set on that track at the moment because of changes that are needed to get it there. And interestingly enough, your purpose right now is who you become as you recognize what strategy change is needed, because that sets in motion a domino effect. If I'm going to engage with this strategy, then I need to show up in this way, which means I need to face this, address this, domino effect, that kind of thing. What was Kohberger's motive? Ego, Howard Bloom blog. I don't think I read the blog. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Not fulfilled, not successful project or work endeavor. Four of Swords, Five of Cups in reverse. To heal the perspective around my own mind when I'm told I can't do something. A weird way to attempt to fix what was perceivably a failure, if that makes sense. Is the pivot light language? Is the pivot light language? No. Five of Wands in reverse is confusing the heck out of me, though. Do you write? Channeled writing, channeled drawing. A change in strategy to display emotions that not a lot of other people are doing. I feel like a lot of people are doing light language. Your unique writing, your unique... I used to do this thing where I would... I did it on TikTok a lot. I don't know if I posted any of these on YouTube. Anyway, I used to draw, and then I'd channel the picture that I'm drawing. I would draw it, and then I'd shuffle the deck on screen, and I'd pull a card, and the card would match the picture. Like, not that you have to do that, but different ways to incorporate drawing or writing with divination of some kind. I don't feel like it's light language, though. Five of Wands in reverse. It's too oversaturated. And not that you can't do it, it just feels like that's not right now what you need. Why CT stopping things by avoiding the issue? Because they believe you'll leave. When I've showed my demons, no one has ever stayed. And I can't even sit with myself in them, so how can I expect you to? I don't want that battle. I don't want to deal with that mental anguish. It's too painful. And also, Two of Cups. Once you see me, I can't deny that that version of me exists anymore because it's been validated by someone else seeing it. It's that avoidance of self. Okay, what time was I on when I went? I'm going to stay on for about like 15 more minutes because we had all that weird computer stuff in the beginning. Okay, Thailand did that one. Should I visit S word again soon? Should I visit again soon? Would this be like a goodbye? Like a or like, you know, when people visit somewhere and then they go back as a changed person, like to see it from a different perspective, but it's almost like a release. It gives that energy. do I think you should go? Yes. But it's like, because you or so you can see yourself differently. It feels like it's like a spiritual unveiling of self is kind of how I'd word that. Thank you, love, for reminding me about the slow mood. Is Howard Blum's theory of Brian Koberger's motive correct? I thought it was from the beginning. Queen of Wands. That doesn't make sense. There's some truth you can be confident in, but it doesn't go the distance. High Priestess in reverse. There's deeper pieces being missed, is how I'd word that. Some truth, but deeper pieces being missed. Or wider pieces being missed, like expand it more. I'm worried about my mom's health. She has no time to herself. She has no time to herself. Yeah, because she's always doing everything for everybody else. I would say it does feel you're right to be concerned. I mean, this is like all of my time facing other people, like all my energy going into things that are continuously draining me. I would say that Queen of Wands and Ace of Swords is like there's truth to your worry. Like, so whatever you feel like you need to do to help her to get her to slow down, do that. Don't wait. It feels like you're picking up on intuitive like nudges to help her change that situation. Any messages from my mom? Any messages from my mom? If you could feel what I feel now, you'd see how deeply connected we still are. The Fool on its side. Release. See how deeply connected we still are. It's like you keep going back to this one specific memory from when you were younger. It doesn't feel like childhood. It feels like maybe teenage years, young adult years. It almost feels like there's some embarrassment around how you handled a particular situation. Maybe embarrassment's not the right word. Maybe it's like I wish I could go back and redo. And it feels like when you start to sift through any grief or feel any grief pertaining to your mom, it's like that's the thought that comes up. And it's almost like she's saying that thought is just so you avoid instead of feel, because when you feel, you release, and when you release, you move forward. So trust yourself to dismantle that like shoulda, coulda, woulda, or whatever energy that sits in. What's the song? Oh, happy birthday. Also a birthday wish. Oh, I'm at everybody's names for the giveaway. 1 second. Scrolling. Okay. Nope, still more names. 1 second. Oh, you do? Please let me know. Yeah, that's exactly what I just got, a MacBook. My computer decided to sound like an airplane, and then instead of take off, just crash on Monday, just right in front of my eyes. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So anyway, needless to say, the guidebook for the archetypes deck is going to be a little late because I lost my last 10 chapters on the book. Okay. Who sent the squirrel to my window and why? Family member, peace offering? Oh, it'll make sense looking back. It'll make sense in retrospect. You're going to get something, it's a piece of a bigger message. So eventually squirrel will make sense. Maybe look up what squirrel's symbolic of. Is my first husband okay? Oh, this is the one that came through very strongly. My first husband okay. So with this, I was getting, tell her I don't have to run all over like crazy anymore. And I kind of put a question mark in my brain, and then I got Ace of Swords with his truth and clarity. And Four of Cups in reverse is like, how do I word this? You will understand the level of peace when you can look at it in that way. Like I no longer have to run like someone's showing me like a mouse in a maze. Like I finally got out of the maze that felt to be trapping me in some way. So I would say yes. It feels like the maze is like the grind. Like maybe life was very like pressure oriented for him or something along those lines. It's like I'm finally depressurized is how I would word that. To show his favorite criminal analysis teacher he had stepped beyond her skill. What was that? I had 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Lost it. So I said it's part of it, but not the whole thing. And I said it's to alleviate the feeling of failure. Yeah, I could see how that would be aligned with that in some ways. I'll have to read that. I didn't read that. I actually think I might do a I have the heroes spread. Now that I'm saying this, I don't know where I'd put it because it should be over there. Anyway, I might do the dice tarot for that case. Oh, the thing just popped up in a half hour. Taylor's shortened version of her Humans for Humanity airs. I'm going to try and be in the live chat. Okay, focus, Ashley. I'm almost caught up on time. It's 12:30. I'm at 12:28. Oh, your birthday's in a couple weeks. Your mom said happy birthday. Oh, that's so cute. I just saw the happy birthday card again. Not every story was fully written. Some truths were left between the lines. This year for your birthday, it's like you're maybe not for your birthday, but this year after your birthday, like from your birthday to the end of the year, it's like you're getting clarity. You're getting clarity on why what didn't work out allowed you to align with what was going to be best for you. It's almost like she's coming through as like, that's going to be the birthday present from me, but it's not happening immediately. I'm helping to put things in place, if that makes sense. They symbolize preparedness, balance, playfulness, seriousness. What message? What message is that a part of? So squirrels, right? Squirrels symbolize preparedness, balance, playfulness, and resourcefulness. Hangman in reverse. Why is it reversed? Okay. There's this energy of continuously looking back over your shoulder, which is keeping you from being in the moment. You know how squirrels, I think they do this, put all the nuts in their mouth and they prepare for winter and they stash everything away. It's like you keep doing that, but with emotions. Like you're stashing them all away, and it's preventing you from being in that energy of playfulness, resourcefulness, because you're carrying all of this and you're like, I can't speak, I'm going to fall over because it's heavy. There's a need to start to put it down. There's a need to start to put it down. 5 of Wands in reverse on the bottom of the deck. The battle, as Taylor said in her interview, it's a one battle. Like you have to look at this as a one battle and start approaching it from the other perspective to start to put this stuff down. Message, please, for love. Message for love. Trust the pause. It's like there's a shifting of perspective that's coming, but it can only happen when you're in this feeling of like not knowing what comes next, but also being okay with it. So there's a need to get comfortable in the pause, knowing that nothing is meant to be happening right now. You're meant to ease into what happens next in divine timing. This is testing a belief system about having to have everything all figured out in order to take action and in order to trust. Let me go back to this list. I'm going to stay on about 10 more minutes, by the way. Message from spiritual team with a token. A bat. Bat with Chariot in reverse. It's like you know something, but you're avoiding addressing it. King of Wands is action. He's looking over at why do you not trust yourself to take the action, and why do you keep leaving yourself in the dark? Like bats have night vision, right? So it's dark. Technically, we can't see, but they can see, right? This is like somebody thinks that you're not seeing something, but you are. And the King of Wands is like, hey, if you see that, let's take some action, or let's act or move accordingly. Not the chess piece flying out by accident. Give Heaven Some Hell by Hardy, which translates here to like, I almost want to say, don't let people walk all over you, or like, don't let people smush your emotions, like smush them. You don't want light language. Yeah, it's not that. I mean, not that you can't incorporate that, but I don't think that that should be like a focus. You know what I mean? Not the Hermit, which is like light language. You're not meant to be doing something everybody else is doing. I feel like light language, you looked at with good intention. You're like, okay, this is a way that people can heal. This is a way to get people to shift perspective. This is a way, but there's so many other people already doing that way. This is like you take two things you already do and smush them together, and that becomes your unique path as opposed to just more of what's already out there. So like so light language is like hands and different sounds, right? Think light language that becomes like channeling the same way as light language, but think like speech, writing, or drawing plus divination plus that. Brainstorm that. That's kind of what I'm seeing, like a combination of different factors. Okay, let me go back to this list. I don't have any super chats left, so we're going to close them because I'm only going to stay on a couple more minutes. But I lost my place. What am I supposed to do about my daughters? What am I supposed to do about my daughters? What am I supposed to do about my daughters? Clarity on which path leads to stability. For daughters, lack of change, resisting change. It's almost like not trying. This gives me the energy of not someone who gives advice of this is what you should do. This is more like helping to lovingly point out what's not going right or what's blocking certain things. So that could be for them or self. It's less about what needs to happen and more about what needs to be released or what needs to be refocused. I almost want to word this as needing to, what do you need to do about your daughters is shift focus right now. It feels like the wrong factors are being focused on, not necessarily by you, but like if the focus is on progress or this or that, it's like the foundation needs to be there first. There's a step being skipped is kind of what I'm seeing. Not intentionally though, like accidentally or something. What is my mom trying to tell me? She passed in 2018. What is my mom trying to tell me? Look at the repeating patterns. A conversation or detail from my life is playing out in yours. What is it teaching you? Well, that was direct. A conversation or detail from my life is playing out in yours. What is it teaching you? We have Because You Loved Me by Celine Dion on the back of the card. You are my strength when I was weak. You were my voice when I couldn't speak. It's like you're going through something. You're going through something that she's like, if you look at something with me, it'll show you the tools you didn't recognize you had. And there's some importance in slowing down and feeling it, not running from it. Slowing down and feeling it. When you slow down and feel it, you can see how something you're going through that may not present as it on the surface is similar to something that she went through, and how she went through it is meant to be a tool for you to get through it, if that makes sense. Oh, I'm scrolling the wrong way. Oh, that would make sense. A different, yeah, because now this is a Mac and that's not. I'll try that. Thank you. It's weird because I tested it earlier too and everything worked. I didn't know it was going to make it skip. Is the family member my Paw, Aunt WM, or someone else? Paw. Like with an exclamation point. Token for the day. That's a keyhole, like where you put the key in the door. The key is trusting yourself to disconnect from speed. Slow down. Slow down again. Slow down and then slow down some more. I feel like you've taken a step back from something, and this is encouragement to take another step and see the impact it has because you're heading in the right direction with said step. Will the ear specialist finally fix Cirque dog's ear from when groomer injured her last July? Oh, that's a shame. Finally fix. Would it make sense if like we go in and we treat it this way, and when that treatment doesn't work, we realize the issue's a little deeper? What's this death card? Yeah, there's more steps. Not completely, no, not progress, yes. Completion, no. It's like, okay, we fixed this, now we got to fix that, or we fixed this, now we need to monitor. It's not over yet. Helping, yes. Complete fix, no, not yet. Oh, thank you, Annette. I'm doing one more and then I gotta hop off. Song and message from Nan Faye for my sister Taylor. And I kind of want to go to the other playlist since this is the last one anyway. Where is my playlist? Where is my mediumship playlist? What is going on today? There it is, all the way at the bottom. Medication by The Collection, which is I Deserve to Be Well. Like, maybe other people made me feel like I shouldn't be, but I deserve to be well. From Nan for sister. The only way out is through, and whatever is surfacing right now is so that there can be a pattern of putting your own feelings last being broken. When you feel it, you can release it. That seems to be a theme today. But there's this energy of something popping up and suppressing, and she's like, hold on. If you sit with it and you feel it, you won't have to keep running from it because you'll dismantle it. What I didn't know before was how much my choices affected others. Mountain, ain't no mountain high enough. How much my choices affected others if you sit with it. I almost want to say that Nan would be saying to your sister, if she could sit down and just have one more conversation with Taylor, she'd be able to put it into perspective the way that she sees it, how whatever it is that Taylor feels is too big for her to face, it is very small in comparison to what Taylor is about to take on. Like, they're like, you don't realize that you've already scaled the mountain until you get to the top and you're almost there, type of thing seems to be the message. Okay, I'm gonna hop off, everyone. In what time did I schedule that for? 1 second. 1 o'clock. Okay, so in like 15 minutes, Taylor's Humans for Humanity episode is re-airing. It's not really re-airing. It's the entire episode, but chopped up. It's just our faces, not the cards. It's made to kind of show my vision for Humans for Humanity. Going forward after this point, you'll be seeing the edited version first and then the behind the scenes version. And that was kind of the point in doing this, because in the blueprint, it talks about us telling our story from the perspective of healing, right? So that is this. Like, you see it unfolding in real time, uncut. And then when I make cuts in it, that's you, well, the guest seeing them telling their story from the perspective of healing. So it's kind of everything coming full circle. So Taylor's episode was the last episode that you're going to see the uncut first. From now on, you'll see the cut version. And then if you would like, you can watch the behind the scenes version. That will kind of shorten it for everyone a little bit. So I think her episode now is like 45 minutes instead of an hour and 20. And next I'm working on shortening Aaron's down as well. And then I'll post that. So please check that out. There's also the Humans for Humanity community page that is up. There's different spreads. There's different rundown of the episodes, the wisdom from the episode. There's mirror journaling prompts. There's, again, tarot spreads, all of that. I think that's it. My brain I just felt my brain stop working. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. I think I still have like two mods who put in their readings within the last couple of days. I still have to do them. Everyone else should have theirs. If you don't, please email me. That's all. Okay. Talk to you soon. Thank you for being here.